There are loves that arrive like a sunrise you didn't know you were waiting for. Warm, familiar, and suddenly, everything inside you begins to remember. Not understand, not explain, just remember. As if your heart knew a name your lips had never spoken. As if your soul had been holding its breath, waiting lifetimes to exhale into this moment. And then you meet someone. Not for the first time, but for the first time here. Your eyes meet, your energy shifts, and something ancient stirs awake. You don't know where this feeling comes from. You only know it doesn't come from this world. That's because it doesn't. According to the teachings of Elizabeth Clare Prophet, there are souls who were created as one, two flames, one origin, split in divine purpose. These are not just people we fall in love with. They are the ones our souls were created with. They are the mirror that holds the other half of our original light. And when we meet them again, whether in this life or another, it is not the beginning of something. It is the continuation of a promise. In the realms beyond this earth, before we took on these bodies, we knew them. We chose to find them again. We said, no matter how many lifetimes it takes, I will find you. This is why some loves don't begin here. They echo from places beyond time, from temples made of stars, from conversations in the silence between incarnations, from vows whispered across veils of light. You may have forgotten their face, but your soul didn't. And when you meet them again, in a crowded street, in a dream, in the quiet ache of longing, something deep inside you knows. This isn't new. This is a memory returning home. In this journey, love is not always easy. Reunions come wrapped in mystery, sometimes pain, but the recognition is unmistakable. Because the love that doesn't begin here is the love that never ended. So if you're feeling something too deep for words, too sudden for logic, too strong to ignore, you may not be crazy. You may just be remembering. And your soul is saying, it's time. Not all recognition happens with the eyes. Sometimes it happens in the quiet, in that subtle, trembling place where something ancient inside you whispers, I know you. You walk into a room, you're not searching, you're not expecting, and then it happens. Someone turns, someone smiles, someone simply is, and something inside you catches fire. But it's not infatuation, it's remembrance, a sacred ache that says, I've crossed lifetimes to find you again. Elizabeth Clare Prophet taught that souls created together, twin flames, carry an eternal signature, a vibration that can't be lost, only veiled. When they meet again, even if lifetimes have passed, the soul does not hesitate. It remembers what the mind cannot comprehend. It is not the person's voice, but the frequency behind it, not the face, but the light that pulses through their presence. You recognize their soul, and your own begins to stir. This kind of recognition isn't loud. It doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes, it's as soft as a glance that lingers just a second too long, or a silence that feels safer than any words could ever make it. In that moment, time folds, and the soul leaps, not forward, but backward, to a temple under foreign stars, to a night where your hands touched for the first time thousands of years ago, to the day you were torn apart, both of you swearing, I will find you again. When these souls meet, the world may not understand. It may call it coincidence, obsession, or fantasy. But the heart knows, because this recognition does not belong to this world. It belongs to eternity. It is written in the energy between two people who were never truly separated, only sleeping on opposite ends of time. And yet, recognition does not guarantee ease. Sometimes the soul rejoices while the ego resists. The heart remembers, but the wounds of other lives still bleed. That's why many reunions between twin flames come wrapped in intensity. Love mixed with fear, longing with confusion, joy with pain. You are not just meeting someone. You are meeting the echoes of all your lifetimes with them. Every joy, every promise, every parting, every prayer. You are meeting yourself reflected in their eyes, speaking your soul's forgotten language. This is why love between twin flames is never ordinary. It moves quickly, but it's not shallow. It shakes you because it's meant to awaken you. And once your soul has recognized its counterpart, it cannot unsee. It cannot forget. It cannot go back to sleep. There will always be something in their voice that feels like home. Something in their presence that feels like destiny. And no matter how much time or distance stands between you, recognition is forever. Because the souls who were born together, who danced through lifetimes in search of one another, do not ask for permission when they meet again. They simply know. And in that knowing, the journey begins. Again. Long before your name had a sound, before your lungs knew the rhythm of air, you made a promise, not with words but with light. In a realm where souls dance as stars and silence speaks louder than language, you stood face to face with the one who carried the other half of your flame. There were no bodies, no borders, no fear, only knowing, only love. And in that space of pure being, you whispered the vow. No matter where we go, I will find you again. According to Elizabeth Clare Prophet, this is where the journey of twin flames truly begins, not in the physical world, but in the spiritual planes before birth. Souls that are part of the same divine spark make sacred agreements, not contracts of ownership or fate, but agreements of love, of service, of return. You didn't promise a perfect story. You didn't promise that the road would be easy. You promised to remember. You promised to come back, even if lifetimes would pass, even if you'd forget for a while, even if pain, distance, or silence would stand between you. Some promises are not broken by time. They are written in the very code of your soul. A pull, a longing, a dream that never fully fades. This is why, sometimes, when you meet someone, your heart races before your mind understands, because your soul is simply picking up where the last chapter ended. There are moments in life when something or someone feels fated, not because the stars said so, but because you did, long ago when you were still stardust. You may cross oceans, be born under different skies, live lifetimes without ever meeting. And still, when the moment is right, that promise awakens. It comes back in a glance, in a touch, in the strange comfort of someone who feels like home. It doesn't always come with clarity, but it always comes with truth. And that truth is this: the love you feel may not be new. It may be a promise returning to be fulfilled. So if you've ever felt like your heart belongs to someone you've just met, or carries a longing no one seems to understand, know this: before you ever took your first breath, your soul made a vow. And love like that always finds a way. Not all love stories unfold in the same lifetime. Some are written across centuries, scattered like pages carried by the wind. You may be here, and your other half may be elsewhere, in another city, another path, another life entirely. Yet somehow, you are still learning together, still evolving, still connected? Elizabeth Clare Prophet spoke of twin flames not only as romantic companions, but as spiritual counterparts. Two beings created from the same flame, split so they could grow, transform, and serve the divine through different experiences. Sometimes that growth requires distance. Sometimes separation is the path. We often believe that love should always be about presence, about being together, holding hands, building a life. But the soul sees farther. It knows that some of the most powerful lessons are learned in solitude, through longing, through the echo of someone who is not physically near but eternally felt. You may walk through your life learning courage, while they, somewhere else, are learning patience. You may be breaking ancestral cycles, while they're learning to forgive what even the soul has trouble forgetting. And even though you are apart, your lessons complement each other, like two wings learning to fly in different skies, but destined to one day soar together. This is why the pain of separation between twin flames is not meaningless. It is part of the preparation. The soul understands that to reunite in love, you must first be whole in truth. And so, life brings the experiences you need, people who mirror your wounds, challenges that sharpen your strength, lonely nights that teach you how to speak to the divine. And even as they live their own story far away, they are feeling the same pull. They are growing through trials that align with yours, because your flames, though apart, are still dancing in harmony. Sometimes love is not about meeting again just yet. It's about becoming the person you promised to be when you finally do. So don't despair if you feel them in dreams, but not in waking life. Don't doubt the connection just because the timing seems wrong. You are still walking side by side, just on different trails for now. And every lesson you master, every fear you conquer, every truth you claim, you carry that forward, not just for yourself, but for the two of you. Because real love doesn't always walk next to you. Sometimes it walks within you. Love's arrival is not always gentle. Sometimes it bursts into your life like a flame too bright to ignore, burning away everything that no longer serves your soul. When twin flames reunite, the love that comes is not the soft whisper of comfort. It is the fierce roar of awakening. Elizabeth Clare Prophet taught us that this love is sacred, but it is not always easy. It comes wrapped in challenges, testing every part of your being, your fears, your wounds, your deepest shadows. Because before two flames can shine as one, they must first face what keeps them apart. Old pains must surface. Unhealed scars must be seen. The ego, with all its pride and defenses, must bow to the soul's truth. This pain is not punishment. It is the fire that purifies. The reunion is often a mirror held up to your soul, reflecting the parts you have denied or forgotten. It stirs confusion and longing, joy and despair, hope and fear, sometimes all at once. You may find yourself pulled towards someone who both completes you and challenges you in ways you never imagined. It is as if the love is too vast to fit within the limits of the heart you knew before. But it is precisely this intensity that awakens transformation. The pain shakes you awake. It forces you to shed layers of old conditioning, of wounds passed down through lifetimes. In this fiery crucible, the soul remembers its purpose: to love without attachment, to surrender without losing self, to heal so fully that two flames can finally dance as one. Reunion is not always about union in the physical sense. Sometimes it is about coming together on the level of spirit, even if the earthly circumstances keep you apart. It is about recognizing the sacredness of the bond, even in separation. about trusting the divine timing that moves beyond human understanding. So if your heart aches with the pain of love reunited, know this: the fire you feel is not a sign of failure, but of awakening. It is a sacred call to rise above the old stories and step into the truth of who you are. And in the depths of that pain lies the seed of your greatest growth, the birth of a love so pure and powerful that it can heal not only two souls, but the world itself. Because love that arrives with pain is love that refuses to be ignored. It is the flame that burns away illusion, lighting the way home. There are moments when the veil between worlds feels thin, when reality bends and the heart remembers what the mind has forgotten. Dreams become portals, intuitions become whispers from beyond, and déjà vus feel like echoes of a life already lived. These are the soul's way of speaking to you, reminders that love transcends time and space. Elizabeth Clare Prophet taught that the connection between twin flames is eternal, woven through countless lifetimes, and even when separated by distance or circumstance, the soul finds ways to communicate. You may awaken from a dream where their face shines like a distant star, or feel a sudden knowing in the quiet moments of your day. You may walk into a place that feels strangely familiar, or catch a glance that triggers an overwhelming flood of emotions. These experiences are not mere coincidences. They are the language of the soul, coded messages sent across the fabric of time. In dreams, the soul is free from earthly limits. It dances in memories of other lives, sharing moments of joy and pain, of love and loss. These visions carry truth that words cannot hold. Intuition, that quiet voice within, often guides you toward signs and symbols that point to your twin flame. It is the gentle nudge that urges you to listen, to trust, and to follow the path even when it seems unclear. Déjà vu moments, the strange familiarity with a person, place, or event, are often the soul's way of saying, "You have been here before." They awaken a deep recognition, a confirmation that your journey is part of a larger story. These soul memories may come unexpectedly, stirring longing and hope, but also confusion. You might question your feelings, wonder if they are real or imagined. Yet, the soul's call is persistent. It pulls you forward, encouraging you to embrace the unknown, to open your heart to the possibility of reunion. Remember, these experiences are sacred. They are gentle reminders that love is not confined to the present moment. It exists in the past, the future, and the spaces between. It is a thread woven through the tapestry of your soul's journey. So when you feel a sudden rush of emotion, a whisper of a dream, or a flash of déjà vu, honor it. Listen closely, for in these moments, your soul is reaching out, bridging the gap between lifetimes, reminding you of a love that has never truly been lost. And in that remembrance, there is power, the power to heal, to forgive, and to prepare your heart for the reunion that awaits. Because soul memories are the footsteps that lead you home. In the vast dance of souls, not every love story plays out in the same lifetime. Even twin flames, souls born from one divine spark, do not always walk the earth side by side. Before birth, promises are made, yet free will is the sacred gift that shapes how those promises unfold. Elizabeth Clare Prophet reminds us that while souls may choose each other across lifetimes, the journey is never forced. Each soul holds the power to decide when, where, and how the reunion will occur. Sometimes circumstances keep twin flames apart. Sometimes one soul incarnates while the other remains in the spiritual realms, guiding from afar. Sometimes the timing is simply not right, hearts and souls needing more growth before they can fully unite. This does not mean the love is any less real or profound. It means love honors freedom, the freedom to learn, to heal, and to choose. It means that even in separation, the flame between two souls continues to burn quietly, waiting, nurturing, and protecting the promise made before time. And sometimes that flame must flicker in solitude so it can burn brighter when the time is right. The power of choice means that reunion is never guaranteed, but always possible. It invites patience and trust in the divine timing that governs all things. It teaches that love is not possession. It is not control. It is a sacred dance of souls, sometimes together, sometimes apart, always connected. This understanding frees the heart from despair when love feels distant or unreachable. It reminds us that the soul's journey is unique, unfolding in its own perfect rhythm. You may meet your twin flame in one lifetime, or you may feel their absence deeply for many. But whether near or far, love continues to weave its invisible threads between you. Free will gives you the power to choose your path, whether to follow the call, to wait in hope, or to walk your own journey alone. And in that choice lies your true strength, because love that respects free will is love that honors the soul's growth. It does not demand, it invites. And when two flames are truly ready, when their souls have blossomed through choice and experience, the reunion becomes not just inevitable, but sacred. So if you find yourself longing for a love that seems just beyond reach, remember this: you are free. Your twin flame is free, and in that freedom lives the truest form of love. Love is not bound by time. It is not limited by distance, circumstance, or even lifetimes. The love between twin flames is eternal, a light that burns quietly beneath the surface, no matter how long the night. Elizabeth Clare Prophet taught us that this love is the spark of the divine itself, a flame born from the heart of creation, too powerful to be extinguished. Even when two souls walk separate paths, when bodies drift apart, when silence stretches for years, that love remains. It does not fade. It waits patiently, a sacred ember glowing in the depths of your being, ready to burst into flame when the moment is right. This love is a promise kept beyond words. It is the memory held in the quiet corners of your soul, the whisper that calls you home. Sometimes it asks for courage, to face your fears, to heal old wounds, to surrender to the unknown. Sometimes it teaches patience, to trust in the timing of the universe, to believe that separation is part of the journey, not the end. And sometimes it is simply there, a gentle presence reminding you that you are never truly alone. Because love like this never dies. It is the thread that weaves through all your lifetimes, connecting you to your other half in ways seen and unseen. So if your heart carries the ache of love lost or love delayed, remember, that ache is the echo of a flame that refuses to be forgotten. It is the proof that love transcends all barriers, and it is the light guiding you toward reunion, in this life or the next. Hold on to that light. Nurture it with hope and faith, for love that never fades is the greatest journey of all. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share your own soul story in the comments below. Have you ever felt a love that transcends time? Like this video if you believe in the power of eternal love, and subscribe to join our journey exploring twin flames and spiritual connections. Together, let's awaken the love that never fades.